Nick Tucker here with Nick Knows Nerf. Today we're going to be talking about the Venom Pro. The Venom Pro, woo! Sorry. The Venom Pro is a quickly becoming infamous, a foam flinging, non-Nerf blaster by Dart Zone. Now, I am almost speechless. Normally I would do an unboxing and I'd say what its features are and I'd hold up the little goggles that come with it per the norm. But I didn't want to wait. This is one that I was very, very, very excited to get, and I kind of lusted after. And my beloved wife sent me in to get it, so she got this for me as sort of an early birthday present. This is a game changer in the industry when it comes to foam flinging from a professional level. It has a rechargeable, I believe it is a lithium-ion battery. A little bit of a pain in the butt to get out, but what that means is you get a whole lot of shots off of one of these guys. It takes about 2 hours to charge on the included charger. It's faster if you use one of the fancy ones, which I don't have. Donations are always welcome. They did a couple things that are really interesting for people who've been in the hobby. The first one I want to talk about is the one that gets the least conversation, that being an included thumb screw. Usually, battery doors on battery-powered blasters are, you have to use an Allen key or screwdriver, which means to do anything in the field, you have to carry the Allen key. You have to carry extra tool with this. You don't. For the purpose of getting this open, you don't. It is a mag and grip, angled talon half dart launcher. Clocks in at a nice 150 average feet per second, which means it hits like a tank at short range. And I do mean that. I'm going to get into that. Easy loads because the pusher retracts, so there's none of the skinny pusher silliness you need. It is battery powered, as I mentioned. It has a safety, as most pro level blasters do. Now it does something a little different. It does a lot of things a little different, and things that are most talked about is this beaver tail style rev trigger, where instead of having a push button under the trigger grip like many early Strife and Descendant blasters have, it has one in the grip. Now, what that means is, for me, it is a lot easier to handle because I only have to maintain full strength with these 3 fingers to rev it. As you can see, I can hold it, I can aim it. Very rarely does it, squeeze off. I'm gesturing a little differently. But when I'm ready to fire, I squeeze, and then I pull the trigger. Now you'll note, I'm not firing in here. This thing is actually potent enough that if I were to fire it, the ricochet would hit the wall and ricochet back off. And I have enough fragile things in here, I am genuinely afraid to fire this blaster in here without a dedicated, which I just realized I can make easily. So, I am going to fire this thing off. And we're going to see if the old box that my new tablet came in will contain them, or if the angles are wrong. So it's just a matter of squeeze and then full auto. That was 3 ricochets in the box before it came back and hit me. That was also 12 shots. Full auto. Now, it came with fancy, their new Nitro Shot line, which are triple bamboo. So they look like the bamboo darts and I actually have them put away, but it doesn't really matter because most people have seen these things, where there are slight indentations so that it still seals, but it has less friction in the chamber. That allows them to go faster. The problem with that is it allows them to go faster. And at that point, it is so fast that it's almost problematic. I'm starting to think, eye protection, you're using Pro Blaster. You want to use iPro. But again, if you are at all, if you trigger discipline, you can, oops. You have to cock it to get off there. And I don't know if you saw it, but even then, I'm catching ricochets. But if I hit high enough in the box, it will ricochet in the box. And I am working on teaching myself to be able to have the trigger discipline to hop off this because this is a full auto machine pistol. Now, I still have 5 rounds left. Mag dump. And that's done. You go through rounds fast. Why do I like this and why am I not doing the usual unbox and talk? Like I said, I wanted to play with this. So I've been running around, going through with this. I don't want to lose the darts that are included. And I've been switching more towards the red, bright colored darts because they're easier to find. Another good thing, though, that this does, let me just put the safety on because when the safety's on, the rev trigger doesn't go. You can holster it, aim, and set your shot up before you squeeze it and start the rev trigger winding. It is significantly loud. The other thing is because it has an open flywheel situation, this does not like to play in the rain. So you need to be careful. This is more of an indoor fair weather blaster. But considering in the past, the closest to this model blaster would be a Worker Nightingale, which uses the exact same kind of mags at twice the price, and then you have to buy the battery separate, and oftentimes the mag separate. At $50, this is incredible. Now, this is a Target exclusive, so if you use a Target Circle card, you can get 5% off. If you join up with them, you can get other discounts that you can stack. I have not paid full price for any of my Target blasters. None. Every one of them, I bare minimum had 5% off. In fact, all my Pro blasters have come at moderate to substantial discount since I got into it. So you can actually acquire this reasonably for the high 40s. And that's without gift cards or whatever. The other thing that I want to mention about this is the little tiny sights. Now, do you see the sight picture on this? This thing is easily and comfortably accurate, 65, 75 feet with a cross breeze. That is not something to scoff at in the realm of Nerf. This allows somebody quick, on target, intuitive fire without the high raised sights that you see in other blasters kind of getting in the way and throwing off your target acquisition. Because the barrel height over the trigger is actually much lower than a lot of blasters. It's still reasonably high. But let's take another contemporary blaster to see why that matters. I'm just going to put a magazine in it because I always keep my 2 magazines. One of them is always in the blaster, even when they're empty, so that I only have to keep track of the spare. These will get their Talkert label so no one steals them later. But when you compare it to a Dart Zone, this is the Nexus Pro X. This is the first of the new Pro line blasters that I acquired. I got this actually on clearance the second or third day it was out at Walmart because somebody had bought it. Apparently it was missing 1 dart. The packaging was damaged. And what I figured is somebody bought it, fired this beauty, pop mom, somebody realized just how hard it hits. It got boxed up and immediately sent back. It runs straight blasters, straight Talon magazines that look like this. However, these are actual normal Talon magazines, so they fit in all the Talon blasters, which is why they're over there, because I have one that only takes ones that fit Talon blasters. These are the Dart Zone, the old magazines that don't fit all Talon blasters. They're angled a little bit, so they only fit Dart Zone. ones. They kind of did the Nerf faux pas early on, but realized, oops, and amended it later, which I commend. But that meant these were really, really cheap for a while, so I acquired some. But if you look at there is probably, what do we got? Nearly what is that? Yeah, about 3 inches of, if you're looking through the sight and you're aiming here, yeah, nearly 4 inches of height over the barrel. Okay? From the bottom of the barrel, from where the dart is, it's a full hand's width up. I'm sorry, yeah, because this is the actual barrel. So yeah, it's full hand's width up. That means barrel drop is even harder to balance out. You have to figure this out. Now, not to spoil a future video, but I will be talking about the Dart Zone Max Striker, which they also made in the as a Target exclusive. This is a Walmart exclusive that has a very different rig at entirely different mechanics and lower height over barrel for aiming. But this, very low, very fast, this is made for intuitive shooting. As you can see, if I'm doing the classic keep your booger hook off the bang bang button, which is just good gun safety, I can reasonably aim, and if you look, where my finger is telling me I'm pointing is just slightly under where the barrel is. So this is meant to be an intuitive come online, pow, blaster. The funny thing about that is the sights are better because they're lower, they're not getting in the way. Dart, I'm going to do a whole video on sights. I will say Dart Zone. Please make these and a back end equivalent. And no, I'm not barrel muzzle flashing myself. For sale for other blasters, because some of us don't like high profile, the Nerf high profile style sights. I don't like them. I like the very low profile sights. It makes it a lot easier for me to come on target. So if we're pulling this out, it's going to unholster, which they don't sell holsters yet. I will be working on making something to facilitate with a combination with my wife to make this easier, because I can't use drop legs due to the nerve damage in my thighs. But this comes on, it's really fast. If you wanted to get into flywheel blasting, this is a really great entry point, and it's fully competitive out of the box at $50. I can't believe they made it. The mags, as you can see, grab, drop, mag release is right here. I am ambidextrous, and while this is clearly meant to be a right-handed blaster, which you can tell by the thumb position for both the, it's technically a safety. It's stiff, but you can put it on one hand, turn it off one-handed so you can make it fire, and you can drop the mag all with one smooth action, which of course I'm going to bumble when I'm talking about. It's very right-handed friendly, but I shoot left-handed usually. I'm left-eye dominant, and I can sort of make it work for that, but my ring finger easily lines up to drop. I wish this were an ambidextrous mag release. That's one of those things I will always wish. But few things are as fun as this machine pistol. If you want to feel like a Nerf genre, every time I hear that thing spin up, I giggle. If you want to feel like a Nerf John Wick, that's the French John Wick. I don't know why I like to say his name like that. This is where you need to go. You just can't get a better deal. There's a good chance that these will drop in price a little bit, hit sales in a few months. So if you can wait and you're not in a hurry, maybe. But as hard as these have been to get a hold of, you might want to snag one. It took them a long time to be available to order online. I actually had to just simply make the 2-hour drive to my Target to get one. And it was worth it. So if you're going to get into pro foam flinging, do this. But I will warn you, this is the first blaster I've ever been shot with that really made me think I need to wear some type of body armor. Because I went to the end of my hallway, which is about between 15 and 20 feet long. I said, Xander, hose me down. I need to know how this hits. Why? Because I'm not going to shoot this at my son or anybody else until I know the kind of impact. This is very much you don't really want to pop somebody who under 25 feet with this, which for the pro line, absolutely appropriate. You go in to play pro, you know what you're getting into. For the casual backyard player, you might not want to buy this blaster. And if you do, there are two things you need to know. It is a little persnickety about its food. It likes the dart zone darts. It likes anything with the waffle and the slightly rubbery texture. So let me see. You see, being poor, I make my own half darts. I have a lovely device I use for it. It's not in here because I was set up in the living room. But you can cut down a waffle dart and it will eat these just fine. So you can get these guys, well, you can get 100 for 6 something or 200 for 10 on the shelf at Walmart. These guys are a little bit more. This is actually the X-Shot version, but anything that when you feel it, it has that slight rubbery texture. Now, in the past, I have made half darts out of the cheap, more elite style blasters, darts, and their head is too smooth. The flywheels won't grab it, so it does not like that at all. So you're going to need some kind of rubberized feeling tip. And it's one of those you'll instantly know as soon as you touch, but it's very hard to convey over video. What do I have to say about this blaster? Is that one? No, that's the back end of one I made. Shoot. I was really hoping I could show you one of those. Wait, maybe. Nope. These are all, one second. These are all modern darts. These aren't cheapos. Oh, which is fine. If you want to go flywheeling and you want to lay down a lot of darts very quickly, and you don't mind buying a lot of angled talon stick mags that you'll have to carry, get yourself one of these. If you are doing basement-friendly backyard, this is a bit much. I specialize in sidearms, and I will do a video explaining why I prefer one-hand operation sidearm style Nerf blasters to the other blasters in another video. But if you're going pro and you want to lay a lot of darts down real fast, this is a great option. In a spoiler for an older long-term review, if you're going to go pro and you don't want to mess with batteries, or you're going to be in more inclement situations, by all means, don't leave any of these blasters out. That's just disrespectful to the tool. I would recommend the Dart Zone Max Outlaw for pro play. And actually, either the Sweet Revenge or the Dart Zone Desperado for closer play. And I'm going to talk about all those. I'm going to do a whole video on Nerf sidearms because I think that's something that's useful to talk about. So, closing. Venom Pro. If you're pro, you just need this. This is a heck of a secondary. This is a heck of a HVZ. If you're getting swarmed and you just need to lay down a dozen darts right now and kind of give your love to the situation, go for this. Just buy it. It's insane because the closest on the market is between 100 and 150. The upside and the downside are the same thing. The rate of fire, which is about 7 darts a second, is actually just a touch fast for accuracy. I'm interested in the Maxim that will be coming out as a Walmart exclusive that's only single action. Not single actions, semi-auto. But that being said, guys, a few purchases I've ever made have been as fun and as delightfully almost dangerous as this little blaster. I would gladly have two of them and be an absolute yutz with it, you know, living that Grammaton cleric lifestyle. But it's worth it, folks. I'll be back probably next week with another Nick Knows Nerf. I will review both older blasters and modded blasters as I acquire them. I am planning a modding video as soon as I find my stand for a classic Nerf Alpha Squad? Alpha Strike. No, not Alpha Trooper. This old boy, spring has been worn out, so it's going to get fixed. And we're going to do some more. I have product reviews coming out on the Striker, the Outlaw, and yes, there will be an unboxing because I have two of these. Yes, spoilers. And the re-release of the Sweet Revenge as a Ninja Turtle blaster. So stick around. If you like this kind of content, please hit me up in the comments. If you have any questions, please hit me up in the comments. And please remember that this, like all my other programs, are made possible by our good friends over at indiecd.org. Go to that site if you are looking to hire artists, authors, or find new people to read that are small businesses, so you don't necessarily have to wade through the algorithms. With that, guys, have a great day. Keep blasting. Toodles.